Hello, I'm Kristy Putnam, and today I have a yoga bed routine. So feel free to grab your laptop and take it in and lay down on your bed. You might want to grab a bolster or use some pillows or a couch cushion. You might want some soft support for the poses today, or maybe you like your harder rollers. You can also use a block for the supported poses. We'll begin laying on our back. Taking a moment to notice our breath, placing the hands on the belly. Feeling the belly expand like a balloon as you inhale and drop towards the bed as you exhale. Taking a moment to scan the body, breathing from the toes, inhaling up the legs to the belly, exhaling down the legs and out the feet. Inhaling up the legs and up the torso to the chest. Exhaling down the torso, out the legs. Inhaling all the way up the legs, up the spine to the crown of the head. Exhale down and release, letting go. Noticing as you scan your body any areas of tension. Inhale into those areas and release, letting go. Noticing any holding that you can let go. Let it go. Bringing one knee towards the chest, wrapping the fingers around the thigh or the shin. Breathing deeper and slower as you bring the knee closer to the chest. Feeling that stretch in the hips and the straight leg. Rolling the foot in circles, one direction and then the other. And releasing this leg back straight onto the bed and the other knee holding around the thigh or the shin. Breathing deep and slow, feeling the places where you notice the stretching. Rolling the ankle, circling the foot one direction, and then the other. Releasing this foot down to the mat, keeping the knee bent. Bringing the other leg up and wrapping the fingers around the thigh. And as you exhale, pushing the heel towards the sky as you straighten the leg, and then point the fingers, bringing the foot back down, bending the knee. Repeating a circling of the foot as if bicycling. The heel pushes up towards the sky and drop the leg with the pointed toes. Noticing your breath. One more. And releasing this foot down to the mat, knee bent, and the other leg holding behind the thigh. Exhale, pushing the heel up towards the sky, pointing the toe and bending the knee, circling the foot around like you're bicycling, pushing the pedal with the heel and pulling it back down with the toes. Breathing deep and slow. One more. Both knees on the mat now. And simply placing the feet on the outside edges of the mat, letting the knees both fall in the same direction towards the ground. And back the other way. You can use your hands for support, keeping a dynamic flowing motion from side to side like windshield wipers on the car. And for the last one, we'll rest. You might like to place a bolster or a pillow to support the leg, or let it drop all the way to the floor, opening the hips. If you like a little extra stretch of the upper leg, you can place the lower foot on top of the thigh. Noticing the belly rise and fall, releasing the foot back to the mat, and resting the other direction. Bringing both knees into the chest, wrapping your arms around your thighs or your shins, and rocking from side to side, giving your spine a little massage against the bed. Extending both feet up to the sky. Turning both heels out to the sides and letting the legs open slightly. Turning the heels back in to face one another, bringing the legs back together. Repeating this motion, noticing how the feet begin to trace the figure 8, an infinity. Making little motions, keeping the feet close together, or bigger motions, opening the hips wide. Last one. The feet returning together on the mat now. The pointed knees fall open into a butterfly, opening as far as you like, and then incrementally closing. Move a portion of the way back to close and pause, another little portion and pause, and incrementally opening, moving just a little bit through space and pause, going as far as you like, continuing to open and close in increments. Last one. Separating the feet again on the mat. And now for a supported bridge pose, you can take your soft roller or your block and place it gently under the tailbone, lifting up, pressing into the feet, resting here on your soft bolster or your harder bolster, or placing the block underneath the tailbone. Resting in the supported bridge, or if you like, pressing into the feet and lifting the hips up into the air. Repeatedly, or if you like to hold the pose, or simply resting. And this time removing the bolster and turning onto the side, stacking the hips vertically and using the muscle on the outer hips at the top of the thighs to lift the foot straight up into the air and down again, repeating. And one more. Now bending the knee, you can use the bolster in front for a gentle stretch, and then the block can support your arm as you open backwards into a spinal twist. Continuing to rest in the twist or taking a break. And now gently, slowly rolling onto your back, and then the other side. Stacking the hips and using the muscle on the outer hip at the top of the thigh to lift the foot. And bending the knee, bringing it forward in front of the body onto your bolster or the floor. And putting both hands straight out in front, opening the arm to the back side for a resting spinal twist. Or take a break and repeat. Slowly making your way to your stomach with your arms bent, fingertips pointing towards the top of your head. Inhaling, lifting the sternum, the breastbone up toward the sky into cobra. Tucking your toes, coming into a plank pose, moving through, coming to sit in hero's pose on your calves. If you like, bringing a bolster for a supported hero's pose. And coming into a lateral bend, painting a rainbow, lifting the arm up overhead, opening the side body into a nice stretch. Last one on each side. If you're using a bolster or a pillow, removing that now. Coming onto all fours. And sitting back into child's pose. And dynamically flowing, returning to all fours. And back to child's pose repeatedly. And resting now in child's pose. Feeling that nice stretch across the low back. Or modifying, finding whichever position is comfortable for you. Perhaps placing the hands between the feet and resting the forehead on the mat. And if you're ready to get out of bed, making your way over to the edge of the bed, placing your feet upon the floor in a sitting position. Separating the feet wide and bringing the hands to the thighs. Inhaling, lifting the sternum, the breastbone towards the sky, lengthening a straight spine as you lean forward, straightening the spine, the gaze across the floor. You can bring the elbows to the thighs to lean further into this stretch, feeling the movement in the low back, an opening of the inner thighs. If you choose to curl the spine down into a dangle, inhaling into any areas of tension, feel the expansion of the torso. And perhaps you'd like to dangle all the way over towards the ground, letting the head become heavy. Taking your time resting in this position. When you're ready to return to vertical, return your spine to straight and reverse, bringing the elbows to the thighs and the hands to the thighs. Inhaling back to vertical. And if you're ready, after a moment, taking a deep breath, come to standing. with the feet shoulder width apart. Another dangle, this time bending the knees, sinking down, bringing the elbows to the thighs, feeling that straight spine lengthening as you squat towards the earth, feeling the stretches in all the different places, noticing how you make tiny adjustments and find a new stretch somewhere in the back, letting the hands release. If you choose, you can drop the elbows and grab them with your hands to dangle upside down. Reversing direction, straightening the spine, inhaling to standing. And now bending the knees, sinking down towards the earth and pushing off, letting that movement vibrate through the body, shaking ourselves awake. Cleansing out the nervous system and stretching. Wiggle it all out, shaking like a tree in a windstorm. And one big gathering inhale, bringing the hands together and down to heart center. Checking in with any intention you might like to carry into your day.